Hey YouTube, it is Shantae with Just How I Planted, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. You might know me on Facebook and Instagram as the owner and creator of the Grow Girl Planter. If you don't know me there, go ahead and get to know your girl by following at Just How I Planted, link in the description below. Today I'm just going to give you a quick tour of all the Ficus that I have in my houseplant collection. So before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below if you have subscribed so I can greet all my new subscribers. And let's get into today's video. Alright, to start off, we are going to start with this Ficus Elastica Burgundy. This is not the first Ficus I've had in my collection, but it's the closest to me, so that's why we're starting here. This was definitely one of my wish list plants, and I searched high and low for it, and I was just trying to find it in a big box store, and I finally did. I think I found this one at Home Depot, and it came in one of those like trios, and I really didn't care about anything else in the pot, so I just bought the whole thing and then separated the Burgundy out. Since then I have of course found them solo, but I already have this one now. So this one is about a year old, and I have it in Leckia, and Leckia is like a soilless medium, so it allows the plant to self-water, and I'm not a fan of overwatering my plants, so I try to put the ones in Leckia that I feel like are going to do well. This plant is doing okay. It has some leaves that have dropped. Now I think I'm to the point where I have so many plants that I am letting really just do not have the time to check on my plants like I need to, so I am currently in the process of like purging some things. So I do see that it has some discoloration over here on the leaves, and I'm not sure if it's due to underwatering or overwatering, or if it's a bacteria or what. I mean, the other leaves look pretty good. It could just be like some older leaves falling off, because these are like the lower leaves. So Ficus Burgundy. All right, let's talk about this beautiful Ficus Audrey. I was super excited to find this at Lowe's, and when I got it, I think it was maybe like right here. So all of this is new growth. I did a video on Instagram, and I showed like how you can do pinching to promote new growth. So basically pinching is just finding one of these new growth points, snapping it off, and then when you see the white sap, that's how you know you did it right. So I pinched this maybe about a month ago, and so you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new growth points coming all at once, and it's currently December, so safe to say it works, or at least it works for me. But anyway, yeah, so this Ficus, I was super excited. I found it at Lowe's, and I think it was like $30 or $40, and I was really excited because I previously purchased one from Etsy, this smaller one here on top of my shelf, and it has grown a lot, but I think I paid probably around the same, like $30 or something for this. And as a new plant parent, sometimes you don't realize like the inflation on some of these plants, so I was super excited to find it in a big box store. But anyway, so Miss Audrey here, she sits usually when my Christmas tree is not here, she sits right here in front of this window along with my other ficus, my fiddly fig, which we'll get to in a minute. They both sit over here together right in front of, what is this, my east facing window. And this is a fairly easy plant. I have had 0 issues. There's a couple of burnt spots here, but maybe I set it outside, I don't know, but for the most part it's very easy. This one is in whatever potting mix it came from the store. It seems pretty chunky. I see some bark in here, and on top of the soil I just have some diatomaceous earth, because yeah, I think I did have this plant outside, so I was just trying to make sure I didn't bring any bugs in. And I just keep this watering, what is this thing called? I don't know what it's called, but I just usually keep this in here just so I can make sure it's getting watered at all times, because I don't know, I don't always get around to watering my plants like I should, but you know, no issues here. I don't give it any sort of extra humidity or anything. And yep, Ficus Audrey, what a beauty. All right, so over here in this corner, this is still east facing light. This large fiddle I purchased from Lowe's as well. Was it Lowe's? Home Depot. And I fit it in my car, y'all. I fit it in my car, and the man was like, ma'am, you don't have a pickup truck you want to get? And I'm like, nope, I'm a professional. So I like shoved it in the back of my car, and I was super scared because not only was I taking it from the store, but I was, you know, I don't know, it had some trauma, but it's been doing great. I've had no issues. This one I have in Leckia. There's actually 2 plants in 1 pot. So this plant right here, this was my very first fiddly fig I've ever bought. I bought that at the beginning as a new plant parent. Like, I just was tripping, and I bought it and I put it directly outside. Now, I did a lot to that plant. I had one of those like self-water, like I put a whole bottle of water in there. Some hack I saw, and I don't know, I guess I gave it root rod and it lost all its leaves. It was like a full bushy plant, and it's like, I don't know, it's come back. It's doing amazing. I also pinched this one. It's hard to see in here. I did pinch this one. So ever since I pinched it, it started giving me new growth. And so I transferred 2 plants in 1 pot. So this is a smaller fiddly fig, and then this is the one that I bought, I don't know, maybe this past summer. And then this is a 3rd one that I found at Walmart. It was like $14, so I had to get it. And it was very full and bushy. All of this was leaves, but I had the bright idea that I was also going to transfer this into Leckia, and this used to fit in this pot. So it was 3 plants in 1 pot, and this particular one was like, Leckia is not for me. So it's back in soil. I left it outside for the summer just so it could aid in its like recovery, and so I'd venture to say it's doing pretty well now. I do have a humidifier over here that I like rarely ever turn on, but because I have so many plants in this room, I think the extra humidity is working. Y'all hear my bacon going off in the back? I think the extra humidity is working out. And yeah, so for nutrients, for this larger one, I use liquid dirt. Yeah, I use liquid dirt for the nutrients for all of my plants, really. And then this one is just in a chunky potting soil as well. And as long as you stick them right up against the window, basically, I think that these are pretty easy plants. All right, here we are in my office on this shelf. I just have a lot going on this shelf. I have a grow light here, and then panning over to the right, this is north facing light. So it's very dark in here. I don't know why I decided I wanted this to be a plant room. I don't know, but I do have this, I want to say this is a Taniki. And this one is also in Leckia. I had a yellow gem and I missed a watering, and like all the leaves fell off. So I'm like, no, I needed to be in Leckia. That way it could self-water. And maybe I should pinch this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch this one because this one is a slow grower. I do see a new growth point here. So I'm just going to take it, make sure you can see, pinch it off, you see the white sap. Be careful not to touch the white sap because it can irritate your skin. And I'm just going to let that do what it's going to do, and I should see some new growth in, you know, a couple of weeks. So anyway, yes, no extra humidity for this guy either, or this chick. I don't know what it identifies as, but it is just sitting up underneath this grow light, and I leave the grow light on basically all day. Like as soon as I come downstairs in the morning at like 7 o'clock, I turn on the grow light. It used to be on timers, but something happened. I haven't put them back on timers yet. And then I turn it off probably around like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this plant down so you can see it closer, but I just wanted you to see like just where it lives. It is hanging on this macrame hanger, and this is west facing light. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it down so you can get a better look. So this is also a Ficus Taniki, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is like called the Ruby form. I'm really not sure the two different types. I was Googling my little heart out and I couldn't decipher the difference, but obviously there's more pink on this one than the previous one I just showed. So I want to say this is the Taniki Ruby, but please let me know in the comments if you know the exact ID of this plant. Anyway, there's two plants in one pot. So I don't know where. I think this is the one that I found at Home Depot, and I found this one first. I got this one. I spent like $36 or something. I picked it up at a nursery, a local nursery, and like I said, some of these prices are like super high. So this was much smaller when I got it, and I paid $36, and I already had this plant, but then I was shopping in Home Depot and I saw this one, and look how big the leaves are. And this plant was like, I want to say it was like $20. Maybe even less, maybe $12. Maybe it was $12. It was under 20, and I just could not believe it. And so I had to pick up two, and so I put them both in one pot, and so now I have a fuller plant. I did transfer it from soil, and it is now in Leckia, so it can self-water, and it's doing great, no issues. The pot is dry, so I definitely need to fill it up with water. And it's lost one little leaf, but it's doing amazing. I love it. The only thing about it is it's so pretty. I wish I could find a better spot in my house that I can see it better. But yes, definitely, I love it. I love it so much. I almost forgot about this ficus. Like, I forget it's a ficus all the time. And this is a trouble plant of mine. Like, everybody's talking about the finicky fiddle leaf fig, and I'm like, that's super easy compared to this Ficus alley. Please forgive my bathroom. Like, this is where so many plants live, and I don't use this bathtub. And this plant has been like dropping leaves nonstop. I just moved it in the bathroom because I'm like, maybe it's a humidity issue. I don't know. I have this watering spike in there so it can get watered all the time. It was just reading moist yesterday. Let me see what it is. I don't know, maybe it's finally dry. It was moist for like 2 weeks. It looks like it has like some bacterial spots going on, but yeah, it's a lot of dry leaves in there. And I bought it this summer from Lowe's, and I think I paid like $25 for it, and it was living on my porch, and it was dropping leaves then, and I brought it inside and it's still dropping leaves. So I have no idea what to do with this plant. I might do an experiment and transfer it into Leckia, just because my fiddle leaf figs are doing great in Leckia. So is my Taniki, my other two Tanikis. And I don't know, maybe that's what it needs. I'm a little hesitant to transfer it during the winter because it's already going to be a shock. But I don't really know what else to do with this plant. So if you have any care tips or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments for me. All right, I want to talk about this very beautiful, very lush, very, just everything Ficus Robusta. I just recently repotted it, and it is quite thirsty. This is actually still in soil, unlike most of my other ficus. But you know, it's doing well, so I'm not about to bother it. Maybe I will wait till summertime to transfer it. It's doing amazing. It's been putting out so much new growth since I've had it. Just like everything else, this seems to be a fairly easy plant. I typically keep this in my bathroom, which receives east facing light, but I have since moved it down into my office to repot it, and I've never put it back. But it's doing good. My office gets west facing light. I'll move it back eventually, but yep, this was on my spirit. I saw it in the store and I was like, I don't need any more plants, so I left it there, and then it was just on my heart to go back and get it, and so now it lives here at my house. I forgot to mention that I only paid $4 for this plant. Like, I could not believe it. It was in a smaller pot than this. I just repotted it a couple days ago. But you know how you go to Lowe's and they have, or Home Depot, and they have like the decorative pots, and you're like, that pot is ugly, I don't really need it. So I took it to the cashier and I'm like, what if I don't get the pot? I think it was originally like $25. I'm like, what if I don't get the pot? And they dropped the price all the way down to $7, so I could not believe it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate you watching. It really helps my channel grow, especially if you have made it to this point so far. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, happy planting!